Hey guys, it's JP, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of high-intensity interval runs for long-distance runners and how to perform them properly so you can improve the way you train. For long-distance runners, high-intensity interval runs can provide the stimulus necessary to create adaptations to make you faster. However, I should mention that before you incorporate this kind of run, make sure your body can tolerate the low-intensity runs first. Once you get the easy long runs dialed in, you can layer in the hard run. One of the most important things to keep in check is making sure the run is hard enough. One way to do this is to measure effort based on your max heart rate. In this case, an example could be establishing a high intensity zone, which could be 85% to 90% of your max heart rate. Again, as I mentioned before, make sure you find your max heart rate properly to ensure proper training loads. For aerobic gains, we want to try to get the heart to be in this high intensity zone for at least 15 minutes. However, this can be really hard to do continuously. This is why we typically use high intensity interval runs. We split up this time into intervals to make the task of doing this more possible. When breaking down the hard training session into intervals, I typically split it up into intervals being around 4 to 10 minutes with 2 to 4 minutes of active rest. How I decide exactly how long the interval and rest is depends on the person. If your heart rate can't seem to hit that high intensity zone during the intervals, you may need to make the intervals shorter and/or make the rest periods longer. Remember that this kind of work really stresses the body, and you need to allow your body to recover from it, so the adaptations to make you faster can take place. This is why it is important to keep those easy runs in the week easy. Doing so may help your body adequately recover prior to the next hard training session. So try to keep the hard runs hard and the easy runs easy. And that is my brief insight on high intensity interval runs. Remember that this is for educational purposes only. How exactly training should be done is based on the individual and his or her goals. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well as any questions you may have. And as always, thank you for watching.